Yo,
Hey, welcome to the new meta, episode 144.
12 squared.
Yep. Yep. How you doing, man?
I've been better. I'm not gonna lie
Been
to
better?
you.
Yeah.
IRL kind of sucks.
IRL sucks.
For
I'm sorry,
multiple,
man.
like obviously, one we broke up with Lindsay, and that's terrible. But lately, also, my hand is like
Oh,
dying, like
oh,
actually
nuts.
dying.
Is it painful?
It's incredibly uncomfortable. My
What is?
ring finger and my pinky like won't stop twitching. Like even now, I could just
Mm,
like hold it up and just,
mm.
and it drives me fucking crazy. And so I went to this specialist, right?
Yeah.
Last week, and it was like this little girl. She's like 5'1",
Little girl. That implies
little
she's
woman,
like
right?
10
She's
also.
tiny, and she's like, to do this, so like you should do this, right? So you just
Okay.
like hold your hand out like this, and then you like push against your pinky, right?
Okay.
Just resist, right? Resist,
Easy.
easy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my other hand.
Yeah.
I can't do fucking shit
You can't
to stop
resist.
it. Nope, I can't do anything. It's fucking
Huh.
dead.
So wait. So like how do you shift key on the keyboard?
I mean, I have enough power to do that. It's not like a down movement. It's just like I don't know, man. And then she was like, she held her two fingers out like this, and she's like, squeeze. I was like, okay. Like, and I've always
Easy.
had like really strong hands because I'm a fucking
Yeah.
gamer, right?
Yeah,
And
you
so
like she's like break my fingers and you
I know. She's like really squeeze, and so like with my right hand, she like pulled her hand away. She's like, yeah, that hand's good. She's like, okay, now squeeze. I was like, I kind of already was. It was like, all right, like I'll actually squeeze.
Yeah, you're
Let's
like,
go.
all right, I'm gonna break your fingers.
And so I'm like
you.
squeezing the hell out of her hand with my left hand. And she goes, are you squeezing?
Oh no.
I was like, oh my God.
Oh man.
So I do a MRI tomorrow. Cause
So like any kind of like early like Google doctor prognosis that like makes you think that you have early disease in the man.
There's a few things I think, and she kind of confirmed like all my Google Doc,
Yeah.
But yeah, so one is ulnar nerve compression, which she actually doesn't think of what it is, but that's like a compression that happens in your elbow and it makes like these two fingers go to sleep, which happens a lot for me.
Okay.
And but I mean, she doesn't think it's that because it's like my shoulders suck and like my limbs are constantly falling asleep when I'm like asleep at night. Like I have to roll over every 30 minutes. But yeah, and so the other thing is it could be like some kind of spinal issue or neck issue, like just something's not right. Who knows, from like years of working out or something. And then like this was the third thing I heard, and this was wild. I was like, I just happened to be browsing Twitch, and I happened in the Riker stream like months ago, and he was telling a story about how like it's either like a friend of his dad's or somebody. Anyways, he's like had a desk job his whole life, and like he was sedentary like all the time, and he like ended up grinding out all the cartilage in his shoulders, and like it caused him to like basically lose control of his hands, and you can't like get cartilage back.
I mean, yeah, I've had desk job my whole life, most of it too. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That'd be super unfortunate.
People different ways, right?
I guess.
And then if it's not any of those things, then it's like neurological, and it could be something actually terrifying, like Parkinson's or some really bad shit, which I hope is not the case. But
yeah, that could be bad, dude.
Yeah.
It'd be it's kind of hard to be the face if you can't control your hands,
right? Or body.
I mean, you are the face. At least you're not the hands.
Yeah, thank God.
Diablo. So
I'm hoping to take over the body pretty soon.
The body. We'll have to make you like the mouth controller or something. I don't know.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, appreciate that.
I'll help you, man. I'll help you. Listen, if you lose control of your hands, I will help you make an assistive Diablo controller.
You gonna play for me?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you can perform at that level.
No, you'd be annoying so fast. You'd be like, listen, stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go left. No,
right.
Done.
Like you're picking the right way in the rift. That's not how I do it.
Yeah, you're going the right way. What is this? You're grouping with people? We don't have friends. So
yeah.
That sucks, man. I hope I'm interested to see what this tiny girl tells you about.
Yeah, man. I do an MRI for the first time in my life tomorrow.
Really?
It cost me out the fucking ass.
Yeah, they're expensive, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I got one done on my knee not too long ago. It was expensive. I think it was, I want to say 400.
Yeah. I had like it's my deductible because I don't ever go to the doctor. I literally never go to the doctor. So
my
I
insurance
never
didn't cover shit of it. I just paid for it.
I never like opt for like the plan that has like all the benefits because like I just never go. And so sure enough, I have like, you know, the lousiest one and I had to pay like $1,000 deductible before they start covering shit. So
Yeah, that's the way mine was too. So just a little tip that you can go to outpatient places and get the same MRI done that they're going to do at the hospital for way less.
Oh,
So if they're trying to get you to do it in the hospital, you know what I mean?
Too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got swindled, sir. Yep. So anyways, let's talk about the poll.
Yeah. Okay. Let me pull it up. So let me spam this in chat super quick so you guys can vote it one last time. The kind of cool thing is these expire, so you can't like go back and scuff a poll. But yeah, so the new meta podcast, the question of last week was if they were to unlock one additional class for the next Diablo 2 Resurrected Alpha, which one do you pick? Option 1, Necro. Option 2, Druid. Option 3, Assassin. Option 4, Paladin. And boy, oh boy.
Scuff results, in my opinion.
We got some big brain in chat.
Scuffed results in my... That's actually what I would have voted for.
Really?
Yeah.
What would be rank 2 for you?
Man, I don't know. I want to say Paladin, but I know Hammerdin's like one of the top builds, and like I don't think that's super fun. Maybe there's other ones I don't know about. I'm gonna go Druid. I'll say Druid, but you know,
yeah,
it's kind of a close toss up between Paladin or Druid. They're pretty equal to me. Necro's by far ahead of everything else in D2. Like as far as my tier list of characters I want to play, Necro's at the top. So.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Druid and Assassin. I have zero interest in Paladin.
Yeah. I think Paladin looks cool on paper, but you know, like and I'm interested to see like how they design the new skills and all that kind of thing. But the thoughts, and maybe it's my own ignorance for not researching more builds, but I know Hammerdin was a thing, and it's like that doesn't really
Hammerdin, Consecrate.
Yeah, that doesn't really get me like super excited. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but yeah, man, if we got to save some goodie for the actual release though, you know? And I think Necro's that big brain class. You got to save Necro for release. I hope that, you know, they're probably going to beta everything, I imagine, you know, just to let us work the bugs out. But
it must be like that tasty treat, like the thing you chase, right? Because we probably won't see it in alpha because they'll like save it, right? We probably, you know, we'll probably need the Necromancers, the last class announcement in D4. I mean, at least it better fucking be.
So it's gotta be, right?
Right.
Necro's gotta be in D4. I don't see how you can not have it in. And if it's a DLC again or an expansion or something, like you can't do that back to back. But yeah, man, I think Necro wins. I think Necro's probably a fan favorite. It would be interesting to take a poll of your favorite class in Diablo 2 once it releases. Maybe, you know, once D2R hits, maybe we'll ask that question, like what's the favorite class.
True.
So because I'm just curious if Necro is actually the fan favorite of all the classes. I think Sorcerer might take the cake. So
yeah, maybe. I don't know. We had that poll last week where we asked which one you're going to be playing, and Sorcerer didn't win that, which we were surprised about.
Who won? Was it Barb?
Let me just actually go look. Right?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I thought Sorcerer did win that.
Did it? It's Amazon.
Oh, crazy! Yuck, chat. What are you guys doing over there, man? Hey, Javazoning it up, apparently.
Nothing wrong with the thick girl, dude.
I mean, listen, I wasn't commenting on her physical nature. I just saying yuck because it's you know, Amazon. I don't know. I haven't played it, so we'll see. We'll see.
I played it for the first time. It's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay.
What? Yeah, picking up spears all the time and stuff.
You know, I didn't mind that. I mean, not picking up spears all. It's not like a bow. Like obviously, if you can be a bow user as an Amazon and you have to pick up arrows, that's the thing. But like it was like a durability thing, right? Like you threw it a spear and his durability went down. And I didn't necessarily mind that. It was better than being like mana pot starved. I hate that in Diablo 2. We just like go back. I'm out of mana pots, and you just go back.
Yeah, mana pot starvation does suck. And it's like the durability on the spear when you throw it, or arrows or things like that. It brings me back, and I guess forward to Breath of the Wild. And all you guys that played Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the durability on weapons in that game drove me crazy when I played it.
Yeah,
Drove me absolutely nutty when I played it. But without the durability on weapons, you never would have switched weapons.
Yeah.
Like you would always play with the same weapon through the entire game.
Until you get an upgrade, and yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and eventually like you're going to upgrade enough to where you don't need it. So I understand why it's there. It makes sense. And it makes sense for D2, and it makes sense for WoW when they did it, and all these other games that have arrows or whatever. But man, it's just not a fun mechanic. You know what I mean? Like that was like the only thing about Breath of the Wild that I was like, man, if I could change just one thing, it would be that. But then if I did actually get my wish, I think I might ruin the game.
Yeah.
You know? So
I agree with that, because like there's those moments, like especially early Breath of the Wild, where you're like fighting and like your shit like disappears when you break something. Yeah,
you're like
oh shit, I don't have anything else.
Yeah, but it also leads to those moments where you're like, oh shit, new weapon, oh shit.
Right.
And it's like you see Linus in the background, and you're like, I could go kill this guy, and he's got really good weapons, but if I kill him, I'm gonna waste 6 of my swords that I have now to get one juicy one that I can't use because it's gonna break later on. So it's like, I'm just not even gonna mess with them. So it's just one of those weird things. So I'm not a huge fan of arrow. Like Diablo 2 inventory management seems pretty horrid to me. Maybe as I play the game more and I get better at the game, it won't be as bad. But like the stash space seems super limited, especially when you got to stock so many potions and all that stuff.
You should have seen the original.
It's bad, dude. And then you're on top of that, you got to carry arrows if you're playing bow, or it's just like,
no,
come on, man.
It's a thing.
Give me a break. Give me some love. Give me some room. But I'm a hoarder in general. I always have been. So what do we got for next week? What's
next week? And it's gonna be a subject we're gonna talk about a bit. We're gonna post this right now. The new meta podcast question of the week. Pausechamp. Should Diablo 4 allow the ability to pause when playing alone?
Interesting. Some games do, some games don't. Actually, there's only one game I know of that does.
The reason I thought about this is because we have this subject on discussion this week. So some random dude, and got a ton of votes, but I just want to tell the Diablo 3 devs, thanks for adding single player pause. And I agree. Like I think that I honestly think that because I started up in the Diablo 3 directory on Twitch, I'm actually like a worse streamer than I should be, because I can't do like both all the time at once, right? Like in POE, like there's so much shit and you can't pause.
You don't read chat ever.
Yeah, I mean, we're too popular, right? But yeah, I mean, it sucks. I do miss the ability to like just pause and like catch up and shoot the shit and go watch a YouTube video that someone posted or whatever. But like I have to wait until I'm done with my map, or I have to wait until
what's funny is I don't remember that you can do that all the time, because I never play solo in Diablo 3. I'm almost always grouped up. Like, and the whole history, it wasn't even before I was a streamer. Like I always played Diablo 3 with my friends. That's actually how I got started in Diablo 3. Was I had friends that were way more Diablo nerds than I was, and they got me hooked on the game, and are hyped for it before it even came out. And so when it dropped, man, like day one, we had groups of people. I had buddies, and we had so many that we had to like kick people from the group, and like, oh man, it was a thing. I remember when the very first couple seasons launched, we had to like pick our teams, and of course the best of us wanted to play together and exclude the guys that were a little worse. And so we're trying to figure out ways to like politely like, oh yeah, we're gonna run together and you go play with this guy. And nobody wants to recognize that they're the guy that's like, oh, I'm the bad one of the team. Know? So once they got sat for the first couple seasons, people were butthurt, man. It literally, they're like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then boom, drop the Skype call. This was Skype back in season 1, right? So they would just leave the Skype call.
Damn, like, damn, that's hardcore.
Yeah. So no, I didn't even realize you could pause a lot of times. I'm always like, oh yeah, I can pause.
Yeah, I mean, I use it all the time. I love it. So, I mean, I get that, like, so Diablo 4 is gonna be open world. It wouldn't make sense when you're like out there in the wild, right? Unless there's like SSF or something. But in like a dungeons, if you're in a dungeon by yourself,
will be instanced, I think, right?
Yeah,
they got to be.
So
That'd be kind of weird if you're running a dungeon and you just see me roll up behind you like, yo,
yeah,
what
they
up,
are.
dude?
I mean, I think they said in 2019 that there will be instance dungeons and there will also be like open world dungeons.
Hmm.
So I think I get the impression that most of them will be instance. So
That sounds so long ago, doesn't it? 2019.
I know, right?
God damn, that's forever.
How sad, right? Like still to this day, like I feel like incomplete because we didn't get a BlizzCon 2020 and didn't get to go and do the things, right?
Yeah. I mean, the rogue reveal was cool, and it's come and gone, but I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a BlizzCon level announcement or launch. And I think if we would have had BlizzCon 2020, we probably would have got to play the rogue, which would have been,
oh man, that'd been sick.
dude, that'd have been awesome. Yeah, I kind of having withdrawals.
Yep.
Kind of. See, this is, yeah. Well, this brings up another topic I'm gonna hit before the podcast. I'm gonna write a little note.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just found this interesting. I don't want to influence the poll, but I do like fucking pause.
You like the pause?
And then I saw this. A lot of the times we talk about, obviously there's tons of problems with having Paragon in a game like Diablo 3, or just in general, right? Especially a Paragon that just scales your power infinitely. And one of the things that maybe we don't think about a lot of time, or people don't think about a lot of time, is the elitism that happens, like for grouping. And you've grouped a lot, and so you probably understand this guy's complaint. But he starts out by talking about how early season, like it's easy beasy to get a group, and like they're flying, speeding rifts, and then like 2-3 weeks in, people are like, oh, you're like not as high a Paragon as me, so like fuck off. Like everyone that he added was like, oh, this guy's good to group with. Like was like, no, sorry.
Yeah, 100%. It goes that way. 100%. Like even myself. So like as a streamer, it's a little easier for me because I have a big community, and a lot of people are just like, yo, I want to play with the streamer, so yeah, I'll come group with you. But if I was just random dude, I think it'd be a lot more difficult. But the funny thing is Paragon isn't the end all be all. Like I run, so birds is the new thing this season. And I've run birds with people who statistically on paper have really, really good looking characters. They're like, oh, your Paragon, like Paragon's nutty already this season. Like, so I've been casually playing the season. I play, I don't know, maybe 20 hours a week, right? Which is pretty low. And I'm like 1,300 Paragon, somewhere in that ballpark. I don't remember exactly. And then like, everybody that I've grouped with people that are upper twos almost, and some people even 3,000 Paragon, which is insane for not even week 3 of the season. We've literally been like 2.5 weeks in the season. And so you get these people on your team and it's ridiculous. But if you're in a public game and you're like, yo, bird DPS looking for a group, as soon as you get invited, they're going to be like, oh, 1,500 Paragon. Nope. Peace. You got to be, 2.5k plus. You got to have 4 million sheet damage. You got to be full 125 augs or full 130 augs or whatever. You know what I mean? It's a thing, man.
Crazy.
So it's super nutty. The only thing I can say is find friends. Let's just make friends that you can play with and find communities and groups and stuff. But it's legit. Happens.
Yeah.
I don't ever remember people like. If you think back to like season, I don't know, man. Let's just go back to say even season 14 or 15, and 2 weeks in the season, you're like, I'm only Paragon 1,300. You would have been like, damn, dude, you're Paragon 1,300. And now it's like, I was Paragon 1,300 in the first weekend. What are you talking about?
Right.
So
yeah, power creep, man.
It's nuts.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because like obviously we think about Paragon sucks and it's an awful system, but like there's like social implications to how bad Paragon is. So.
Definitely affects the games in a lot of ways, man. On top of the infinite power scaling, it's like it creates toxicity. And not only that, there's reverse toxicity from it too. Like I've had people join my group that have been 3k Paragon, and instantly my chat's like botter. You know what I mean? And like they might be, or maybe they're not. I don't know. And then it's like I'm instantly become Blizzard's bot police. It's like, well, it's not my job to sit here and do Blizzard's job and ban or accuse or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I would love that job, but yeah.
Would you?
The police.
So if Blizzard gave you the power, let's say they gave you the power to insta ban people.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so you're on stream and you're like, hey, I'm looking for a group. And so somebody in your community is like, yo, man, I'll come join. You're like, all
I
right,
wouldn't
cool.
do it on live stream.
No, on this, the whole, you said you would. You'd love the job. So the guy joins your group and he's like 3,700 Paragon. And you're like, God damn, dude. And then you like right click him and you
Yeah.
look at his hours played. Okay. And his hours played is like 22 hours uptime since the season start, 2.5 weeks in.
Right.
Are you clicking the ban button?
Yep.
Instantly ghost.
Instantly gone.
Yep.
Peace.
Right on.
I mean, maybe I let him like run with me a little bit until he's done. And like, peace.
You're like, okay. Hold on, let's get a couple runs in first.
Yeah. Like, oh, you're done for the night? Bye.
No, you're not done for the night. You're done for life.
Forever.
He's like, oh, my homies just got on. I got to go, Fluff. You're like, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Peace.
Totally
yeah, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. Crazy.
Or just ban everyone that's in front of me on the leaderboard. Easy.
just get them all. They're like, yo, Fluff, check out leaderboards. You're like, click.
I don't see anything.
I don't see nothing. Like, you're killing your cam first. You're killing your capture card for a second. You're
No,
like,
still rank 1.
Still rank 1. Oh my god.
And then other news. I kind of saw this pretty well written up post by a random person on Reddit, kind of like refreshing people's memory on what Diablo 2 Endgame was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously, number 1 is reaching level 99. It's super, super difficult to do in Diablo 2. And, if you're softcore, you lose experience when you die. That's, where POE got that model from. So it's just really hard to do. And it goes really, really, really slow. So it's quite an accomplishment in Diablo 2 to reach 99. And then there's also the Pandemonium event, which is the Uber bosses. I did that a lot. My barb was really good at that. And so I would just do that basically nonstop to get crazy good Hellfire charms and stuff like that. There's also crafting. You kind of just spam it in the end game, which is great. I do miss that about Diablo 2. Diablo 3, you can do like sit there and upgrade size. Like that's the biggest comparison I would make. I think that's probably the best crafting in Diablo 3 is just the ability to like upgrade weapons, and then like you can get primal maybe. It just sucks that the primals exist, I guess.
That's such a weak crafting in my opinion.
I totally agree.
It's not even like crafting, it's more like just gambling. You're literally just gambling. Instead of spinning blood shards, you're spinning yellows and other mats. But yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. You get like random items and cool stuff. Crafting's pretty good. And rune words, it's a way better system than anything we have in Diablo 3. But again, when people are like, rune words are the best, I'm like, POE's better.
Just the item, it feels like. It's like, hey, this is a thing that you need to craft. I don't know.
True.
I'm not like super in love with rune words personally, but I haven't played enough to see. We'll see when alpha comes out and I play it a little bit more. So
yeah. There's also PvP, obviously. A ton of different builds you can do in that, and they're totally different than PvE builds in most cases. So collecting people's ears and stuff like that. People loved that back in the day. And then lastly was the SOJ farming. Like every single time an SOJ drops,
a kitten dies,
and then like a Diablo clone would spawn after that certain server had a specific a Diablo clone would spawn and like into people's games after a certain amount of SOJs dropped on that server. And so like you would farm everyone would like be out farming SOJs, and then you would eventually get the Diablo clone. So that was something. It was kind of like one of those passive things that happens because you're probably just doing other stuff. But
yeah,
it's cool.
So people are selling SOJs, trying to farm Diablo, and then trying to be the first one to pick up his loot. Basically.
And within your party, yeah. If you didn't have,
yeah,
if you didn't know the people, that'd be terrible. Which is still wild to even think about. I never played Diablo 2 with anyone that was like concerned that might just jack loot. It was always like we had a plan,
People talk about that a lot, and that's kind of my opinion on that too. Is I'm like, well, who the hell are you playing with that you're worried about them stealing your loot? Like, I would communicate and be like, yo, I just got this. Does anybody need it?
Right.
Like, here's the drops, and then if 2 people need it, like, all right, let's roll for it. Let's figure out a way to
Yeah, and it kind of ruined, like we talked about the
Maybe
social
not.
aspect of Paragon and how that can kind of ruin. I think the social aspect of grouping in Diablo 2 would be kind of ruined because if you don't know that person, like seriously know that person, you don't know that they're not just going to jack whatever drops and bail.
Yeah.
So like that's not a good feeling.
I don't know, man. It's nutty. The jacking people's loot, that's like a subject we've been talking about a little bit because I've been playing a lot of Outriders. Like, I've been playing Outriders, streamed it some today. But Outriders doesn't let you trade loot, and there's no shared loot. The loot is specific to you. So if you and I group up, I can never help you other than just kill things for you. I can't give you items. I can't give you materials. I can't trade you anything. I can't drop you anything. And so to me, part of me is like, man, this really sucks. It makes it so much harder because like I'm seeing my friends get things that I want. I'm like, oh my God, you got your 5th one. I need one of them. And it's like you and I playing Necro together, and I get like 50 Crisbin sentence, and you haven't gotten your first one.
Right.
Like, and I can't give it to you. Right. It feels really bad. But at the same time, there's no pressure to give anybody your loot. People can't be like, oh man, I really need that. I wish I had that. And you're like,
sucks to
not
suck.
really gonna use it, So like there's definitely a pressure to give people items at times, especially if they're like your really good friends or things like that. You're like, well, I was gonna use this on my alt character, but since it's your main character, I guess I'll let you have it, and things like that. Or I could sell this or trade this for something.
Or break it down and you need those long range damage shards,
Yeah, whatever, man. Yeah. Exactly, dude. Right. Yeah. So I don't know, man. The loot thing. So for D4, I think that they talked about having everything be tradable, and I'm like, I see the good and the bad in both systems, man. It's really nice not being able to trade things, and then it's really crappy not to be able to trade things. So
yeah.
But in D2, it's like stop playing with players that are going to jack your loot if you're worried about it. Like,
Yeah, but that also kind of ruins the essence of grouping, like because you're just living in fear, and then you're just like going to play by yourself, and then maybe not be able to do as much as you could do in a group. It's sad. It's edge.
Make friends. Key of this moral of the story: don't be fluff. Make friends.
True, big true. And then in other news, this is fascinating. David Kim leaves Blizzard. A somewhat surprising announcement. It seemed David Kim has left Blizzard earlier today, which was last Friday. After heading up the Diablo 4 team since 2017, Kim moved on to principal game designer for World of Warcraft, which we talked about when that happened. And now it's announced he's leaving the company. Period.
It's interesting, man.
Because we theory crafted back then, like, oh, he probably just wanted to work on WoW the whole time.
Yeah, like, apparently not.
Apparently not. He's just like he's probably just helping them with the release of Shadowlands or some shit. So, like, get ready to bail.
Yeah, man, he's gone. That's crazy because what was his role for D4 exactly? His title. Did it say in the article? I can't remember. I'm trying to remember exactly what he did.
I want to say he was lead. Oh, he was principal game designer. No. Yeah. He was lead. I think he was lead systems designer or something like that.
Whatever it was, it's like really, really important. It was like one of the top dudes in the game. Like I know it wasn't like director, or or producer, but it was pretty high up, man. And so you and I talked about it, and like, man, he came from a PvP balanced background. He had all this, I thought he was going to do works for the PvP system. I honestly was excited when he got announced to be part of the D4 team. So
yeah, I think that there's two things to me, right? Like on the one hand, I'm like, oh yeah, like what you just said, like he's got this strong PvP background and he was a big StarCraft guy, and there's a lot of balance behind, StarCraft PvP, and like he's going to bring that knowledge and that experience to Diablo 4, and maybe Diablo 4 will have like this great PvP system. But then I always think of the clip of him at BlizzCon where he's like, someone asks him like, where will you be wearing rares? And he's like, oh, in case you feel like you have too much choice, ? And then it's like, whoa, that's terrifying to hear from a lead system designer. So I don't know. I'm on the fence of like, we don't know, and hopefully one day a Kotaku article could come out and explain the situation. But like, is David Kim like this voice for like, hey, we need to make this game more hardcore? And everyone's like, whoa, Pausechamp, it needs to be casual because that's what Diablo's all about? Or is it like David Kim's like all these really casual ideas and they just like keep breaking with the community, so he's eventually thrown out? Who knows?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts, man. It's so, I guess it's late in the process. I would think by now a lot of the systems are solidified, right? In D4, I hope, maybe.
Yep.
It seems late in the process to have to replace somebody that's the lead systems designer. Like this guy's in charge of of the systems, and they're like, "Yo, we got to find a new guy." I guess hopefully the people that work right under him can step up and fill his shoes. But
Totally.
it just feels bad when a game that you love is in the works and it's this far along in development, and you're hearing like key people are piecing out.
Yeah,
Damn,
and
dude.
I'm torn on that too, because it's like I get that they're key people, but at the same time, everything we see from Blizzard about Diablo 4 is like, I mean, come on, like do more. This is not enough. Make a better game. So
Yeah.
when people get thrown out or like swapped out, I don't know that I'm that upset because, you know, we'll see the next quarterly update. Like what's going to happen there? Is it going to be good? I don't know, right? And they've progressively gotten better. Still not like impressive, but
yeah, I haven't seen one that blows my mind away yet.
Yeah.
Like so to be honest with you, that this sounds super toxic. It's not meant that way, but the POE 2 trailer that they showed us the other day was more impressive than any of the D4 stuff that I've seen.
No
I mean,
question.
I played D4 and it was fun to play the demo, but I remember thinking at the time it played like Diablo 3.5. Like that's what I remember feeling. I remember feeling like this is Diablo 3.5 and that's not enough. It's not enough. I need Diablo 4. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so when I see this POE 2 trailer, I'm just like, yo, this is not POE 2, 1.5. This is legit POE 2. This looks like a different thing. This looks good.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I got to go back to the idea of, you know, POE tends to hire, you know, people from the community. They tend to hire people that are passionate about Path of Exile. They tend to hire gamers. And I don't know that Blizzard is the same way. Because again, I always get drawn back to our conversations we just have at Blizzard, or, you know, at BlizzCon. And everyone's super, super nice. But like when you talk to them about games, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's not like the passion wasn't necessarily there and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I guess it depends on who you're talking. Like I definitely, it's weird because it depends on the team. Like the D3 team that we talked to, I feel like they felt really passionate about trying to do what they could for D3.
Totally.
Which is cool. But the D4 people that I met and talked to me, I got the impression that they were so sick of talking about D4 that they didn't want to talk about D4.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it seemed like they were just like, yeah, I've already answered this question a million times.
What else do you want to talk about? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, let's talk about something else. Like, dude, you know, how's life?
Yeah, and that could be it too, right? And so like you change the subject and they're like, oh, you know, I play Pokemon Go. And you're like, what the fuck? But they're just tired of talking about Diablo 4.
Yeah, exactly. So that could be it too. But, you know, then again, I didn't get to meet I got such a small sample of the D4 team that was at BlizzCon 2019, right? Because that's when they revealed it. So I'm sure all those people were sick of talking about Diablo 4 because that's all they got asked the whole time. But
yeah,
you know, we'll see what happens. It is crazy that David Kim's gone though, and I'm interested to see, are they going to bring somebody up internally from the D4 team? Are they going to bring somebody else outside from a different team? Shadowlands has been a pretty okay expansion, but it hasn't been the best received ever either. So it's like even bringing these people in from the WoW team, it's like BFA wasn't well received, and that was the expansion before this Shadowlands that's out now. Shadowlands is better than BFA, but it's not Legion. It's not the best expansion the game's ever had. So, you know, it's. I hope that they can innovate. Some of these ARPGs and some of the stuff that we've seen looks like they're innovating pretty hard. So I hope D4 comes out.
Well, what else have you? Wait, hang on. What on that statement? Like obviously POE 2 and POE we're seeing tons of innovation, but like what else have we seen? All these other games are coming out, they're trying, and it's like yikes.
Well, there's some stuff I can't talk about that I thought was pretty cool. yet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
So there's
We
things
need
that,
to have a conversation. Off
yeah, you
stream.
and I need to have a conversation. Yeah, like, yeah. So we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, yeah, yeah.
Soon. TM.
Soon.
Yeah.
TM.
Things are happening, Chen. That's all.
Yeah. But there's stuff, man. And it's like I haven't I hope that D4 has just got all this shit so tight to the chest because they're afraid. They're like, listen, if PoE gets these ideas, they're gonna put them in their game before we can release them. Because our game's still like 3 years out, 2 years out. And we know PoE can churn out some content, right? So if they're like, yo, man, we got this dope system, but I'm not telling anybody about it because I don't want somebody to steal it. That's what I'm hoping is going to happen. But we haven't seen any innovation. Like the PvP systems they showed us were Division 2. Like you literally just took Dark Zone from Division 2. And that's cool. It's a really cool game mode. It's a fun game mode. But like that's not innovating anything.
Yeah.
You know?
And I don't care. Like I'm on the camp that's like, don't innovate. Just literally copy everything from every other game.
Yeah, but what would you have D4 copy?
Literally everything from PoE. Literally everything from Lost Ark. Like
yeah, but Lost Ark Combat, they can't, it's too late for that.
No, it's not. It's completely not. And we say this time and time again. They can go back and literally change everything. The one thing they absolutely had to get right was the engine and the look and feel, and they nailed that. They absolutely nailed that. And so they can go back and be like, oh yeah, our combat sucks. This is Diablo 3 and it sucks. Generator spender, like yikes. That's so stupid. So they can go back to the drawing board on anything. But like if you got the engine wrong, if you got like, the look and feel wrong, that's pretty hard to change. So,
if they changed combat at this point, I would lose my mind. If they made it like Lost Ark, done.
Yep.
It's done. The game, it's the best selling ARPG of all time ever, and people would fall in love.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see a lot of people play. Like I can't wait till Lost Ark gets the NA release someday, if it ever does, because I wonder if like maybe you and I have this opinion that's not in the majority. I really want to see hundreds and thousands of people play the game and then be like, okay, what's the overall consensus? Do you guys like it or dislike it?
I have yet to meet someone that has tried the combat and been like, yeah. I mean, honestly, I saw a lot of PoE streamers late league were switching over. Like I saw Rise and Nugian and I don't remember who else, Ziggy, I think, swapping over and checking it out, and like they were loving it. So
yeah. So I'm with you, man. That's what I hoped for, but
yeah. And then chat reminded me too is Jeff Kaplan left Blizzard today.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Overwatch
about that
guy. Yeah.
Oh shit, dude. What's going down at Blizz?
Right?
Man? Something, dude.
Let's put on some tinfoil hats. So one of the tinfoil hats theories is, they're going to Mike Morhaim's new company, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he hasn't announced. Has he announced a game? He announced a board game, right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Was that Mike Morhaim's thing that did that? I don't know.
I thought like MMO was discussed, or like maybe RTS or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Man, I know we talked about some stuff. I'm getting the two groups because there was a different company. The two different Blizzard guys, ex-Blizzard guys, did it. So he was like the head honcho of Overwatch, if I remember correctly. Like he was like the number one dude for Overwatch. So that makes you wonder about Overwatch 2's future and how we didn't hear anything about it at BlizzCon Line. Like they didn't even talk about Overwatch. I'm like, wait, where's the Overwatch 2 juice, man? 19 years he was there. That's what this thing just said. I googled up. Wow.
So, like, to me, it's either, there's a power play being made behind the scenes somewhere amongst all this. Or it's just like, maybe these guys are just so tired of Activision shit.
Well, here's the kind of the deal with that is like, that was the cop out for Bungie with Destiny, because everybody was like, Activision acquired Bungie and then the game went to shit and these expansions have been horrible and they're being rushed and they're forcing them to release on these certain dates and all this and that. And the community was like using the Activision card as like an out for Bungie, I think. And I honestly feel like it was kind of like low key pushed by Bungie is how I feel. You know what I mean? then Bungie broke away and did like their own expansions and shit, and it wasn't any better. Like everything they were like, so they got to do their own pricing scheme and their own release schedule. The release schedule got worse, and the content didn't get that much better. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
best expansion they launched was under Activision, which was Forsaken. So, I think that's an out. It could be a true out, and maybe they're still on the recovery. But man, they've had like 2 or 3 expansions since Activision's umbrella was not over them, and they haven't been like breathtakingly like just blow your mind. They've been like, oh, these are okay.
Yeah.
So, and I love Destiny, man. That's like one of my favorite IPs. So I'm all rooting for them to do good, not bad. So yeah, I think you're right, man. I think maybe there's in a couple months we'll hear Jeff Kaplan goes to new Blizzard, ex Blizzard studio guy, whoever's. So.
Or maybe they're just sitting on piles of cash and they're like, fuck all this.
Yeah, maybe so.
Buy an island.
Maybe they got their $200 million payout and they're like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what Jeff Kaplan's worth, but at some point you got to be like, you know what, the shit I'm taking is not worth it, dude. I'm can retire for life right now. So just go play games, man.
Hell yeah. And then, man, let me tell you. So POE just announced their league, right? Or not, just launched their league last Friday.
Yeah.
And oh my God, was it flawless?
It was a fabulous launch, dude. So I don't know about you. Dude, I logged so the last couple leagues have been a little rocky, right? Sure. This one though, it was beautiful.
Yes,
baby.
Barely any bugs.
I got those streamer perks where I didn't have to wait in queues or anything. Anything.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't know, POE had just like this crazy disconnect issue.
It's honestly not even funny. To be honest, like I was joking there, but I feel really bad for the team at GGG because like they worked really hard, I'm sure, on this, and it sucks, man. This launch probably financially wrecked them. I imagine it hurt quite a bit.
I mean, yeah, I would definitely assume that it hurt. I think that it's like a 2-time for me because like obviously this probably really hurt like the player. God, I got keto brain. Like the player retention. Jesus.
Yeah.
But I think on top of that, it's like a stacking effect because I don't know about anyone else, but like the new league mechanic is not good. So like those two things comboing together, I gotta assume it's pretty brutal combo. But yeah, this is my favorite meme. They're showing the achievements.
Play for 5 minutes 3 times. Hold on, let me read these. Play for 5 minutes 3 times.
The other ones are normal.
Quest. Are the other ones normal?
They just whited
That's
out
hilarious, dude. That's hilarious. So.
But yeah, and so Chris Wilson came out and they talked about the two things. One of them you just briefly mentioned, right? I want to have
awesome, dude. This is awesome that he posted this.
Oh yeah, sure.
This is so cool. Yeah,
totally. And transparency is great, and like just to hear the story, it's like, man, like as a developer, and I'm sure you being in that, having been in that field, like we can totally relate to this. It's like this shit happens all the time,
all the fucking time,
and it sucks when it's like you like on a new thing and it's not working, and you're working diligently around the clock to try to get it to work, and like all you leading up to it. And part of the story is like leading up to it, they had so much, continuous integration basically baked in, and like they tested it. They even like did some server load stuff, and like they were prepared, and it still happened.
Still got them.
Yeah.
Dunzo.
So that really sucks.
If you read the article, the funny part is they think a lot of this stemmed from somebody not pushing over the character migration. A couple days earlier, they overlooked it. So whoever's job that is, that dude is fucked. Like that one guy, they're like, "Yo, John, did you do the server migration thing?" "Yeah, man, I get it in just a minute." And then his wife texts him like a pic, and he's like, "Oh shit, what's up, babe?" And gets totally distracted and doesn't ever hit the button. That guy is like, "John, I thought you did it." Yeah.
But in classic Chris Wilson fashion, this is my favorite sentence. "We will continue to work on the issue until the servers are working perfectly. We know the Path to Exile realm can handle this much load. It's just a matter of divining what subtle fuckery is causing the problem."
Yeah. That's true, man. That's just how it works.
I
And,
like
and like,
he always sneaks like fuck into the.
yeah. He's just being real, dude.
That
He
dude.
doesn't sugarcoat it. It's awesome, dude. If we launched the same day as Cyberpunk
Yeah,
2077,
we're
we're
fucked. Yeah,
fucked.
that's
He just
great.
says we're fucked.
No,
Yeah.
Blizzard would never do that ever.
No,
No.
ever. But that's what's cool about GGG, man,
Totally.
is like you got the head dog on record, like saying, "Hey, man, this is what's going down, and we don't know what's going down, and we're trying to fix what's going down, and this is what we're doing to fix it, and et cetera, et cetera." And I think it's really cool. To me, at least, it makes them seem human because humans fuck up, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like they didn't want this, we didn't want this,
Right.
nobody wanted this. It just happened. And so like I can forgive that, but when they try to cover it up and act like nothing's wrong, I think that's the crappy part. When if they didn't say anything about it, they're like, "Oh, there's a little minor server issue. We're working on it." They're like, "Minor my ass. What are you talking about?" So,
Yeah.
but it's bad. And they even faulted or admitted to their mess up about giving streamers queue skips.
Right, and that's this part two. And I wanna debate this because I find this fascinating.
I am too. I'm kind of a little bit on both sides of the fence here. Let's see. Go ahead.
So if you guys don't know, the first day of the league, they had sponsored, big streamers like Shroud, right? Like that's like probably a 50K endeavor right there. Just to get to play the game. Probably more, yeah. And so Shroud had the hashtag ad, and that's how like someone's getting paid to play the game. And obviously the server was down, which is nightmare scenario. It's literally just like burning cash, and that's what Chris Wilson actually said in this. And so what they did was they had like a back door. So if they had identified that you're a streamer, you would like get in the queue, and then you would exit the queue, and then you come right back, and bing, bang, boom, you'd be in.
Yep.
And so like big streamers like Mathel, Quinn, Shroud were just able to bypass the queue, which is
they had you on that list, right?
No, absolutely not.
They didn't get you on the list? Damn. No, Bex.
No. I mean,
Bex,
I don't know what I do, but they don't talk to me at all. But yeah. And I find this to be really, really interesting because I'm kind of on the side of that's okay, and hear me out.
I'm kind of on your side too. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm thinking of myself, and there's exceptions to this, and we'll get into that too. But I'm thinking of myself before I was a streamer, right? Yeah. Back in the day when I used to just watch Quinn. Like I would just have his stream on while I was playing a game. I never interacted in chat. I never did anything. I would just like have it up. And I'm thinking to myself as a gamer, as someone that used to be just a Twitch viewer, if I have to sit in a queue for 2 hours, I don't want to watch my favorite streamers sit in the queue for 2 hours. I want to watch them play the game, and I get a sneak peek of what's going on, and I get to see things. I get to interact instead of everyone just like sitting there fuming about how none of us can get in the game.
Yeah.
So, and to me, it makes total sense as a business to do this. Now, of course, they've said no, we're never going to do it again, and I don't know that I necessarily agree with that perspective, but I do think there's exceptions, right? So I think the exception here ultimately is who's the streamer, which sucks because that'd be a slippery slope. Because if it's like Quinn69, he's not going to finish, rank 1 for the race. Like it's just not going to happen, right? But if it's like, if you got a steel mage, and he's able to get to the queue and the people competing against him can't, like that's a big problem because he's got this crazy advantage, right? And so that's an issue. Or you've got the trade league boys. You've got the Mathley, you've got the Empyrean, who are dominating the trade league market. They make tons and tons of exalted orbs, whatever, and they get that advantage. So like get in there sooner and dominate even faster, and so that becomes an issue. So like I get the slippery slope aspect, but to me, if it's just like a streamer that's good at the game or just entertaining and they're SSF or whatever, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. There's a queue either way.
Yeah.
So like Steel Major, whoever's going to finish first in the race, what if he gets through the queue legitimately faster than everybody else? Is that against him? Like, I don't. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. But to me, I agree. I think it's extremely princess syndrome for everybody to be like, oh, I can't play, therefore nobody should be able to play. And it's like, So I'm a streamer. I've gotten streamer perks before. Diablo or Resurrected Alpha Access is an example, right? We had Alpha Access. The true colors of people really came out during that Alpha Access.
Yeah.
I had so many people whispering me like, how did you get access to this over me? And like even other streamers and shit. And it's just like, damn, like it really changed my opinions of people. Jealousy is a bad thing. And so, but yeah, man, should Quinn get preferential treatment? Of course. Why wouldn't he? He's a marketing tool for GGG that's probably doing it for free, I would imagine most of the time. And people want to go tune in and see him. Like people want to see if they paid Shroud. Like I've heard stories, and I don't know how true these are, but Asmongold has said on his stream before that he turned down $300,000 for a 2-hour stream of Shadow Raid Legends or some shit.
I mean, that's got to be true because I've been offered like $5,000 for a 2-hour.
300K. Like, listen, I'm sorry, dudes, but I'd sell it. I mean, maybe if I don't know what Asmongold's making. I don't know, but 300K is like that's pay your house off money. So like, but if you're paying Shroud, let's just say 50, but it could be probably 300 or 400. We
probably
don't know.
At least 100 or 50 to 100
like,
at least.
Shroud's getting paid, right? So that's a lot of money that they could have given their staff. They could have given.
And Shroud's not a guy that's going to compete for rank 1 or do anything. He's just a guy that
they could have sponsored some private leagues, some competitions, some things, and instead they were just trying to reach a new audience and they're marketing. That's marketing money. And I get it, man. It sucks. It sucks that we weren't let in, but at the same time, I wouldn't be upset. Like me as a streamer, me as a gamer, even if I were playing and like, yo, you're not big enough to get let in the front door. That's cool. Hey man, let Shroud in, let Quinn in, let these guys in.
Yeah.
But the guys that have the advantage though, like if they're in the race competition, that's an issue.
Yeah.
And but how do you fix that? Because they're going to randomly all get in at different times anyways. The race is effed the second the servers are crashing.
Right.
Like you're as soon as there's a queue, your system's effed. Do you restart the race? Say, all right, listen, race is postponed. If you guys want to do the race, we'll resume it on XYZ date, create a new character at this time, and then that's when the race starts. Like that's the only way I can see to do that fairly. You know? So
it is. Like I said, I think that's where the slippery slope comes in. And I think obviously as a business, it's probably better just like to not let anyone ever do it again, because of that slippery slope. Because you'd be like, Quinn gets through the queue and then like Steel Mage doesn't, and then I guess like Steel Mage is just sitting there like, well, I guess GGG thinks I'm too good at the game or whatever, and then like that's kind of like favoritism in a sense, and that there's weird legal implications, I'm sure. Not that anyone would act on these things, but I mean, they made the right play, but I tend to agree with why they did it to begin with, of course.
Yeah, I'm not upset. I wouldn't be upset about it. And I wouldn't be upset. Like Twitch is a marketing thing for games, man. It's just it's literally marketing, and to not let those people if you got Quinn sitting there with 20,000 people or Shroud sitting there with, I don't even know what his numbers were when he was doing it, but you got him sitting there with 30
than Quinn, which was.
Did he? Yeah. So, but you got Quinn sitting there with like I saw Quinn during the launch at like 26,000 people or something. Yeah. That's 26,000 eyeballs. Like that are interested in your product. It's not like 26 random guys that are just going to skim over your ad. These dudes are interested in your product. So you can't have Quinn staring at the starting screen, man. I totally get it. So feels bad, man. But it sucks. The ultimate thing is it sucks for GGG that happened, and their launch was screwed up again, So was this the worst one yet?
In my memory, yes.
Yeah.
But I've only been playing like diligently since like Synthesis. So that's only like 7 or 8 ago.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. What else? Oh, there was they also started banning people for an exploit, which is odd because we had a question about this. I had actually read about it and had it in the schedule, and then when I started putting the questions together, we had a question about it. So I'm gonna skip ahead and ask the one question ahead of time.
Okay.
But basically, what it says, if you pull up the duping exploit, and I'll paraphrase it really fast. If it'll load. It says, earlier today, we learned of a bug in Ultimatum that allowed players to generate excessive rewards. Shortly after the discovery, we deployed a hotfix and capped the amount of experience and items and ultimatums you could yield. We've banned 20 accounts that were abusing this exploit multiple times. These bans last until Ultimatum ends in July. We also void their characters so that their stuff can't be transferred, et cetera, et cetera. And then it turns out that one of the people that was banned was Path of Math. So,
that fucking guy.
Why
am I not surprised?
He apparently was like showing it off or on stream and stuff and like teaching people how to do it. And so like I don't know if he got banned. Maybe the question. Let me read the question. So then OSO asked the question in the thing. He says, POE exploit Path of Math was banned for giving items away in his community. I guess last season.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the ban? Should they be perma-banned, season banned, Twitch banned, or nothing at all? So,
yeah, I mean, I think that's tough because we've encountered this multiple times throughout Twitch history. You know, for one, for a while, and multiple times in Diablo 3's lifespan, that someone has been cheating, and they're not even like hiding it, like in the directory. And if they were smaller streamers, they just got banned. But if they're like bigger streamers, they get banned from the game. But technically, the Twitch TOS says you can't cheat in game. Right. So, I mean, technically, they should have been banned on Twitch. Yep. Because, I mean, that's violating Twitch TOS. So, when I see stuff like this, like, Path of Exile is very clear about how, like, they don't want you to give away items. And maybe that's not necessarily a Twitch thing because it's not cheating, but it is a Path of Exile thing. So they'll ban your account.
Yeah, so help me clarify that rule for me because I'm not familiar with this. So if I were playing Path of Exile and let's say I somehow hit the lottery and I had 100 Exalt and I'm like, yo, chat, I'm going to raffle away 10 Exalt right now. I can't do that?
No. Because that's encouraging. And, again, this goes back to like GGG, like they're gamers. They get it, right? Yeah. And so like you could just, advertise yourself as like giving away headhunters and like you actually fulfill that. But like, you're driving traffic to your stream based on just like, basically RMT. So like that's against what they believe is good. So and they'll fuck you up.
I don't know how I feel about that personally. If you earn the current, if that they have a trade league and you can trade the items, and if I earn the item in a legitimate manner, I should be able to do anything I please with that item, regardless. So I don't know if I agree with that stance, but it's their stance. You know what I mean? Like they can set the rules, I guess.
Well, why wouldn't you agree with it? I guess so. If you're doing a raffle, right, and you're commonly doing raffles to give away items, like people are going to hang out in your stream because they have a chance of getting good shit, not because like you're a good streamer.
Well, the good is relative to your opinion of good. If that's what I choose to do to get audience, that's fine. If I stop doing the things and people stop showing up, then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not.
But you've driven the traffic there artificially because you're giving away shit. I don't know. I agree with their stance 100%. I disagree with what you're saying.
Yeah, I think if that's the work that I'm willing to put in, like that's just defining good streamer as I'm entertaining or what your value is as a streamer. So if you value entertainment or you value help in the game or you value comedic standpoint or whatever it is, as long as I'm doing it within the fair limitations of the game systems, I don't see what it matters if it's because I can go sell it. I could go put it up for, 1 alc and give it away for free if I wanted to.
Right.
Randomly. So what's it matter if I'm doing it on the stream? So those people that are choosing to hang out on the stream might be there for the things, but that's a mechanism that I'm using as my stream. And I guess it's relative. It's an opinion if it's a good stream or not. I don't think that's a factual hard evidence thing that you can promote. You know what I'm saying? It's like, is my stream good to you? Maybe not to Fluff or maybe not to PChild, but to somebody else. It's like, well, hey, he's doing what he's doing to drive traffic. He's, it's on him. He's putting in the work. He's doing it. So
I've always felt that bounty mat giveaways are scummy. But like, it's a privilege that we get. And so it's like, yeah, it's saving us time. Amazing. But it is. I mean, to me, at the end of the day, it's pretty fucking scummy.
I do bounty mat giveaways all the time.
Yeah, I used to too. But
I don't.
it is. It's pretty fucking scummy at the end of the day.
I don't think it's scummy. I don't think that people only hang out on my stream for the Bounty Mat giveaways.
I'm not saying
I'm sure there might be some, but even if that's all I did, if I didn't say a single word the whole stream and I was just like Bounty Mat giveaways, like that's the streamer's prerogative though. Like whether it's a shitty stream or not, that's opinion based, and we can have that opinion. But I don't think it's like, yo, you're banned from Diablo for doing that. Like, well, then change the rules. Then change it to where you can't give bounty mats away.
Well,
you know
then,
what I mean?
I think we should examine context here too, right? Because for you, doing bounty mat giveaways, it's probably not a big deal. But for somebody like me, who's like, pushing rank 1, it's a fucking advantage. I don't have to spend my time doing bounties, and people are just going to give them to me, like for literally no time at all. So it's probably, it is kind of scummy on my part because I'm kind of artificially getting a higher rank because I have better stuff from stuff I didn't even have to do anything for.
Yeah, but but that goes down to the whole botting thing in general. Because if you think that all these majority of these people that are holding these high ranks aren't botting on alt accounts,
of course, and that's a different argument. Yeah,
like that shit happens like 24/7.
Of course,
yeah, like 24/7. So, but that's a system design flaw. If you're working in the systems of the game, then I don't see how it's bannable offense. Just like I don't agree with GGG's stance. If they don't want you giving away items, then limit the trade restrictions on the items. Make them have to be sold on the auction house. You can't trade them then. Like a headhunter, for example. Like if I got a headhunter in stream and I was like, damn, this is really pog. Yo, chat, somebody want this? Like, I'll raffle it away. I don't have any problem with that if I'm not using it. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I get it. I mean, I can see the other point. I guess the point I'm trying to make is I think it's opinion based if it's good quality content. And even if I agree it's shitty content, it's still that person's prerogative to make shitty content if they choose to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I just disagree, obviously. I think that you're driving traffic to your stream because you're doing a thing that everybody wants, and they're not there for you. They're not there for your content. They're just there to get the item. But
so then how do you feel about like Borderlands 3 putting in Twitch overlays that when the streamer gets the chest, if you click the
that's
button
fair because everyone gets it. Every streamer, every streamer in the directory has it.
Every streamer in the directory has a chance to get a headhunter and give it away too.
No, they don't, because you can't do that.
What do you mean?
It violates POE TOS. You can't do that.
But that's the same scenario though. It's like, oh, streamer. Okay, so you and I are both streaming Borderlands, and you have.
But it's organic. It's not the point of your stream. Like you're just playing, and people in chat have a chance to get the thing that you got.
No, but
that's
people would
totally different.
People would hang out in multiple streams chats just to click the boxes to get the loot.
Yeah, of course, but it's not you that's doing it. It's a thing that's just integrated, right? Your whole point of your stream isn't like, hey, I'm doing headhunter giveaways to drive traffic to my stream. It's just something that organically happens as you play, and hopefully the guy that you watch is like good and he's like farming, and you potentially get something good.
But that's not. It's the same. It's the same as the headhunter giveaways, except for that everybody's giving away headhunters because every time you open a chest, there's a button that says click this button to get Fluff's loot. And every time I open a chest, there's a click this button to get PChild's loot. And so what people do is they hop in 50 million streams, which organically drives traffic.
100% different than the focus of your stream being, I'm going to give you a headhunter if you hang out.
No, it's just everybody's stream is now, I'm going to give you a headhunter if you hang out.
And it's organic. It's not even the focus of the stream. You're just playing the game, which should be the focus of the stream. And people hang out.
It's the same as you're watching streams you would not organically watch just to try to get loot. It's the same thing. It really is and I've seen people do it. Like there were people that would be in like 15 Borderland 3 streams that if that system
I get what you're saying, and you keep bringing up that point. It doesn't change how it's not the same.
It is.
You're not your whole stream title isn't like, hey, hang out my chat because you're gonna get fucking good items because I'm farming. It's like I'm playing the game. And because there's this really cool thing that's built in with Twitch, you could potentially get that item too. But I didn't suck you in for the promise of loot. Everyone's got that.
Mm-hmm. And everybody could get a headhunter.
No, they can't.
Well, they could if GGG allowed them to.
But that would like violate gaming. Like,
yeah, so
and I agree with
now.
GGG. They're gamers. They get it. You can't do that.
Okay. I disagree. They shouldn't be able to trade a headhunter then if you don't want people giving it away. That's the point.
Sure.
So okay, let's say you and I are playing. We're not streamers. We're just buds.
Yep.
Okay. We're just buds. And I'm like, yo, I got this headhunter, man. You want it?
Yeah, we're grouping. Like that's totally organic. That happened when you and I played together. I was like, here, take this, take this, take this.
Okay.
That's fine because like we're playing together.
Okay. So if it's my bud and he's in my stream, then can I give it to him?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what all the rules are.
Yeah,
but I agree.
I don't know. It's I don't know, man. It's a slippery slope. So
it is a slippery slope, but I agree with the concept.
I agree that I'm right though. So
Woo. And then did you want to touch on that last topic or was that from?
Let me see. Let me pull it up. See what it even was.
Tencent?
Oh, yeah, the Amazon thing. We talked about Lost Ark a little bit. And the reason I bring it up even is because Amazon canceled. Oh, that was the different one.
Oh,
that's the wrong. That's the one above that.
Oh, the filler. Yeah, the one.
Yeah. So Amazon canceled the Lord of the Rings MMO, I guess, today. And the reason I think that this is interesting is it was a dispute with Tencent. So Tencent bought, I guess, the company that was helping them produce the game, and then Amazon couldn't get in touch with it. But this is the second game that Amazon Gaming has canceled before it even hit the market. And the reason I bring it up is because it makes me nervous about Lost Ark, man. Like Amazon, they're working on the publishing rights on Lost Ark. We heard the announcement where they didn't actually say the name Lost Ark. They just said Smilegate RPG. And I keep checking the Lost Ark Reddit like every week. Like, yo, when are we gonna get a release date? When are we gonna get some juice? Nothing. So it just sucks, man. The more I sit on this, Amazon's got the rights to it, the worse it sounds. Because Amazon hasn't launched anything successfully. Zero games successfully.
And everything's been bad. So, 100% bad. Not even like, oh, that was okay. Like everything they've touched has been shit.
Yeah.
And I love you, Amazon, man. By the way, since they, own Twitch.
They haven't launched a single video game that's been even remotely successful. So it just, it makes me scared that they're going to try to monetize the shit out of this or screw the monetization.
But it already is. Like my concern is they just like push it through and they're like, hey, it would still be a mediocre for them because like it'll fail eventually probably because it's pay to win.
They're gonna monetize it so hard.
Yeah.
That it's just like, no, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna play that. It's way too pay to win. So it's crazy, man. I was I shouldn't say I was excited for the Lord of the Rings MMO because every Lord of the Rings
game
IP, like anybody that's had use of the IP, it's been horrible. I can't.
Besides Shadow of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor was okay.
Yeah,
it was okay. It wasn't like
it's a single player game. I obviously don't absolutely love it, but it was very well received.
I played it. It was okay. It wasn't like the best thing I ever played, but it wasn't bad. It was okay.
But all the MMOs and all the other games have been like, yikes.
Like, what are you doing? Like, you have this super cool universe. It's just like Star Wars is the same. With there has been some better Star Wars ones lately, but up until like recent times, they were pretty bad too.
Yep.
But it sucks, man. Rip Lord of the Rings MMO. I was kind of I didn't have my hopes set high, but I was interested in it. I hope that they could have nailed it.
I mean, to date, it's still one of my favorite memories. I went to ExileCon and immediately following ExileCon, like very next day, I was able to visit, Hobbiton and like just, and I did like a banquet there at the Green Dragon, had some beer that was freshly brewed for just the Green Dragon. And it's just like, man, that was like so dope. Cool. So like a game in the Lord of the Rings universe, as a huge Lord of the Rings fan, I would love it. But it's just never been good. And I always check them out. I'm always like, what's this? And it's like, oh.
Yeah. It was it was kind of sad to see, but I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd too. When was the last time you watched those, man? I don't think I've seen those in
I rewatched them before I went to New Zealand.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Because Lindsay had never really seen them. So we watched them together.
Rip.
Thanks.
Listen,
hey, PChild, your fucking mom, dude. Okay.
Oh my god, damn. Wow. Okay, well, that was it for episode 144. We're gonna title this one "The One That Breaks New Meta." The breakup. That's the name of this one. It's the breakup. I think that's it though, dude. What do we got for some PChild loves, Fluff hates? You know what? PChild loves bounty giveaways. That's what I love this week.
Yeah. So, okay, Fluff hates. Man, this one's loaded because life's, it's wild right now, right? So I made the tremendous mistake of like because curiosity killed the cat, right? So I downloaded one of these, dating apps.
Oh shit! Oh no! Here we go.
Just to see, what does that space look like these days, right?
Okay. All right.
And
oh man, I could have fun with this.
Easily the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life.
Really
terrifying. There's so many underscore sexual terms, underscore gender, and like the people, there's like couples on there and they're looking for other people, or like, oh, I'm married, but like I'm looking for an FWB. I had to Google what the fuck that was. It's friends with benefits.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
I didn't know that at all.
I've been on the market like 20 years and I still knew that one.
And then it's like, and then there's like this whole paradigm of, okay, so like a girl is, maybe thick, right? And I whatever your preference is, or however your own self-image, whatever. I don't care if you're fat, whatever. Good for you, right? But like they take photos like in a bunch of different ways that like kind of. I mean, you can still tell like if you're really but like I guess to me it's like it's inherently obviously sad because like they're kind of catfishing a little bit, right? Because like you're gonna meet up with that person after you're having a conversation, and it's like whoa, like I didn't expect that at all, and so. And I get like the thirst, you want likes or whatever on these platforms. And like that maybe feels good to get like 100 people that are like, oh, you're hot or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, what the fuck? But yeah, so, the whole...
Your profile pic like this? You like
like this.
Like what are we doing?
No, I just like... stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Like, I should never done it. I deleted it. Nope.
So you know what I'm going to do? I think, do I have your new? I don't know if I have your new address. I'm gonna make a profile with you. I'm gonna take all pictures. I got the address, the name. I'm gonna start swiping right on all the hotties, setting you up on blind dates.
Please don't.
Dude, I'm gonna do it.
Please do not do that.
I'm gonna do it, dude. It'd be funny. For the loves this week, man, I really do love the bounty giveaways, but mine's a hates this week too. I love Outriders. I hate it, dude. I hate the game, but I'm addicted to the combat. And I've been grinding Outriders like off stream so much. Been playing so much Outriders that it's been ridiculous. And I have like every single piece in the game except for the one piece that finishes my build, and that's 140 hours I have now in the game of grinding for this one piece, and I can't get it.
How much is that as off stream? Where?
A lot. That's all I'm doing. It's just grinding Outriders off stream now. It's like, yo, and it's just to get this stupid piece. And you know what, man? I hate it. Like I'm stupid addicted to this game, and it's not even that good. I can't explain the draw for the game because the end game is shallow, and it's frustrating because the loot drops are BS. It's full of bugs. The game crashes all the time. But something about combat, man, they nailed it, and I really do hope. So the love portions of this is legit, though. I really do hope that they continue to progress this game and give new end game content and expand on it. I hope this isn't it for Outriders. I hope they have future releases planned out, and I hope that they continue to push this game for a while because it's got potential. If someday they add it where it's at now, it's not enough. Like you need more of an end game grind. It's just not enough there. But if they can expand on this, it could be a super dope game. So
we'll see.
That's
it. Sorry, like that's the big complaint going into Outriders was like, oh, this is not gonna be like a platform game or whatever, right? Like that was because Path of Exile when it launched, like it was okay, and like you could say the same thing about Outer, like it was okay,
Yeah.
There's a foundation there to like maybe build a game
It's
on.
got a good foundation. And the funny part is like, man, it really brings out this so like I legitimately did the grind in Outriders. I went through and I climbed up the CT levels. Like me and a buddy. I have another buddy that plays quite a bit. And so him and I started off on like low CT 4s, 5s, 6s, and we ground our way up to like, CT 13s, which is the 15's the highest. And as we ground up to this, we did it. So the equivalent would be like in Diablo, like you started off and you ground up to Torment 16, and now we're grinding Greater Rifts, and now we're farming 150s. And then it's like other players get in and they see us doing the 150s, and they're like, "Yo, carry me in the 150s," or I'm stuck at like Greater Rift 99 and I can't get past it. And then you're like, "Well, what do you have?" And they're like, "You don't have any gear." Yeah, but I've played as many hours as you. Like, no, you haven't efficiently played hours like me. We've been grinding 150s for 1,000 hours. You've been grinding, 50s for 1,000 hours. It's not the same legendary drop rate, but it's fun, man. The game's addicting. It's I don't know. I hate it. I hate this game so much. Like I'm super addicted to it, but I wish I wasn't, because I'm mad at it. I hate it. Every time I play it, I'm like, why am I playing this shit? Can't
So
stop.
yeah, why are you playing this shit? Because I don't know if you've noticed your background image. Awakener's still owning you. Why are you not killing Awakener? P. Just get him. Just go get him.
I tried, but I couldn't connect.
It was like that for 13 hours. Okay.
Listen, I was gonna play the new league, and then the game wouldn't launch. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I guess I got to play Outriders. It's a calling. It was a sign. It was a thing. I stopped by your stream and I was like, "Yo, Fluff, can you message GGG and get me on that streamer bypass?" And
I'm not even on the streamer bypass.
I know they wouldn't do it for me. So, I'm mad at GGG now because they didn't give me streamer bypass. I should have it.
Fair enough.
I'm big time GGG. Come on. That's it. Let's get into some Twitter questions. You got anything else before we jump in?
No, that's it.
All right. If you guys want to submit questions to the podcast, you can submit them at ThaPChild on Twitter, at Lord__Fluffy on Twitter as well, or in our Discords. The first question comes from Larimer. He says, P, what age did you introduce your kids to video games, and what games did you start them with?
This is fascinating, actually. Because I recently, sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Recently, I've kind of like reconnected with some of my RL friends, and like one of them, like we were friends for 15, 20 years, and he never had kids, and like we didn't really talk after he had kids, and just to hear like the paradigm shift of like what parenting does to your life, and like just all very real, right, and raw.
Yeah,
it's just like it's totally fucking fascinating. So yeah, continue. I'm very curious, like how you even like, where do you even research it first, or is it like it's just like I'm gonna do the thing?
So like I think a lot of it is your kids inherit the hobbies that you have. Like if you're into something, your kids will be into that too, especially while they're young. Like they're malleable. They mold to you, right?
I don't agree with that.
You don't think?
No, I definitely am nothing like hobby wise, nothing like my father at all.
So I guess unless your hobbies really suck. Like my brother is an engineer, and he spends his time like he's like one of those like make things kind of guys. He has all these like CNC machines and 3D printers and like just all this shit at his house to make anything you can think of. You think of some crazy stuff, and he's doing like he made a remote control wheelchair that you can control with a Wii remote, like drive it around, and just weird stuff, right? And so his kids are like into that kind of thing, man. They're into the same stuff. They like to build things. And like to me, my kids are into games because I'm heavily into games. So that's just kind of what it is. So for me, my kids saw me playing games and they were interested as soon as they could hold a controller, right? My 2-year-old didn't even really know what he was doing, but I put a old controller in his hand and he's trying to play games with me. I would say my youngest son is most like me. He's the gamer of the group, and he started playing Destiny with me when he was 4. I think that might have been one of the first games, like actual real games that I got him playing. And it started off with I was playing Destiny and he wanted to come hang out, and so he'd sit in my lap. And then it was like, okay, I'm in the tower in Destiny, which is like the city safe zone. I gave him the controller and taught him how to run around the tower, and he would do that. And then couple days later, we're out in the easy area, and I give him the controller, and he starts shooting bad guys, and it's like, kind of sucks at it, but he gets better. And then in the course of a couple months, he's like so good that I buy a PlayStation, and he's 4 years old playing with me. Like, kids pick up stuff so fast. So to me, like, I was okay with letting my 4-year-old shoot aliens. Like, is everybody gonna be cool with that? I don't know, but to me, I think it just depends on your level of sheltering. I'm pretty relaxed. My brother has kids. His kids are 11 or 12, and he still doesn't cuss around them. Like, he's like, if a movie says a bad word, he's like, "Oh, turn it off." And like with me, it's like, yeah, like it's fine. They're gonna hear it. So,
Sure.
I don't know. I'm not. I say that in a way. It's like it's hard to like govern how other people raise their kids. But if you had kids, would you worry about saying bad words in front of them?
For a time. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, for a little bit, but it's, at what age? 10, 11?
I mean, my parents
12,
never cursed
14?
in front of me.
Ever?
They still don't curse
Oh,
in
yeah.
front of me.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you curse in front of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always myself. I'm never not me. So, but yeah, they don't like it, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. It's wild. So like, what about other aspects? Like, so say, Lindsay's mom, who was a super nice lady. Like she let, oh, okay. She let her boys, like drink at home, like throughout high school.
At young ages, yeah.
Yeah. What's your stance on that? Where do you draw the line? And
I personally wouldn't, but
Okay.
I don't drink though. So like, that you're asking somebody that's not into it. So my standard is once my kids are of legal age, they can make that choice themselves if they choose to. But I'm not a big fan of drinking myself in general. Like if other people do it, I don't care. But my own kids, I don't think I want doing it. So, but my wife's a lot more lenient than I am. But I think she has the same stance. But I know people like yours. I had buddies, friends in high school that their parents would go buy alcohol for them, and they're like, "Well, they're gonna get it either way. They might as well do it here where I can watch them and make sure they're safe."
yeah, that's the rationale. Yeah.
That's their rationale. And I'm like, yeah, but you're kind of also encouraging them to get fucked up every weekend.
Also,
you
true.
know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, I agree.
It's like, but I do see both sides of it. So it's just one of those things, man. It's hard to govern other people. But I think that's part of letting people raise their own, like, you raise your kids, I'll raise mine. You do what you think's right, I'll do what I think's right. And I'm not gonna judge you. You stay off my lawn.
Yeah.
So,
I saw this quote the other day that I thought was like really good synopsis, probably, of parenting. I'm curious what you think. So it said, raise your kids, spoil your grandkids.
Yeah.
And then I forget what was the other part of it. It was spoil your kids and raise your grandchildren. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably true. Spoil your kids and then you're raising their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a thing. We'll see. Like I turned out good, and from what my parents did, I try to do better than them, and we'll see how it turns out. If my kids end up being like psycho murderers, it's because I let them shoot aliens when they were 4 years old. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like my kids seem pretty normal at this point, but we'll have to see. So. OSO says he asked the question about the people being banned, which started the huge debate, which I won, about body mats should be given away. Let's see. Hyperspatial says zombies are busting your door down in 30 seconds. What's something close by that could be used as a weapon?
All I have in my house is a baseball bat.
That's like close in the same room. I'm assuming he said close by. So
yeah, it's
like
one bedroom away.
I have a knife that I use to open Amazon packages. That's this. I don't know if this is taking a zombie out, but it's about all I got.
Herbert. Yeah, there you go.
Hurry the cat. Just throw the cat. Yeah. Get him. Would you sacrifice the cat?
No, I would protect Herbert. I would risk my life for Herbert.
Would you?
Oh my God, yes. Without question, without hesitation.
You have to. Okay, so Herbert dies, or you have to grab him, and then you get bit by the zombie, and there's like a 70% chance you become a zombie.
Do it.
Herbert's dead either way. If you become a zombie, he's gonna die too, right?
No, he's a survivor.
Okay. So you do it. 30% chance you live.
Mhm.
You do it.
Yep, without hesitation.
Yeah,
He's like
that's
my
loyal.
son, dude.
Listen,
Like,
my
would you
cat
not do it for one of your kids?
I do it for my kids, but my cat, that cat's dead.
Different.
Like, listen, he's
Your
zombie.
cat
He's
sucks.
zombie.
Compared
He's
to
zombie
Herbert,
cat
your
food.
cat sucks. Herbert is on another level of cat.
My cat's zombie cat food, dude, for real, or zombie food. Let's see. Blue Rose says, either of you planning on playing the new Resident Evil game?
I played a Resident Evil game once with a girlfriend that I had forever ago because she was a gamer and she loved that shit. But I've zero desire to play stuff like that.
Have you played scary games? Do you play scary games?
No, I think that was my only experience.
I hate it, dude. I hate it. But I did it for stream on the Halloween one time. I played Resident Evil 7. Jesus, man. Shit's crazy. It scared the whole time. It was like the most highest level of anxiety I've ever had for any stream ever, and I hated every second of it. Like I absolutely, like I was like, I do 4-hour streams usually on the night during that period of time, and it was like as soon as it was like 4 hours, I was like, peace. Like I couldn't wait to end that stream. I was like, man, this sucks. I'm never doing it again. But looking back at it though, I don't know. I don't know why I hate scary games so much. But I don't. So the game looks badass, but in all honesty, probably not, because I think I'm scared of scary games. I don't get scared easy. It was just the things, like I knew they were gonna jump scare me so many times. Like I know it's gonna jump scare me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like horror movies to me are totally cringe. Like people make bad decisions and I can't watch that. It's just so annoying. I got like scary games. I kind of think the same. I think the only time I would get like freaked out is if it was a VR scary game.
VR games are nutty. Like I have one. I have like Paranormal Activity or some shit like that on my PlayStation VR. It's creepy, dude. It's a totally next level get scared, and I don't understand why people would like it. I just don't get into it. I'm like, listen, I don't get scared easy. Like scary movies don't scare me, but when you're playing a video game, it's a little bit different. I think the interactivity is real, and it's not that I'm actually scared. It's just like I know that they're gonna jump scare me as soon as I go around this corner. And I think the anticipation of knowing I'm going to get jump scared makes the jump scare even worse. And then so the whole time I'm just constantly like, oh, okay, I'm going to go around this corner. What's going to be there?
Right.
And then sure enough, it happens. So I don't know. But yeah, I probably not, unless they're like, yo, P, we're going to sponsor you to play the game or something. Then maybe I consider it because it's, I just don't like spending $60 on a game I'm probably going to play for 2 or 3 hours and then realize I hate. So
yeah.
Hex says, have you had a oh fuck I'm old moment? If so, what was it?
I mean, recently was my hand situation.
Truth.
But I had kind of the opposite this week. What was I doing? Talking to somebody and they're just like, somehow my age came up. Oh, it was at one of the medical appointments I had. And like they're asking for date of birth. And I was like, yes, 1981. And she's like, you're 39? I was like, yeah. She's like, what are you doing? Like, why do you, like, what's your secret? I was like, don't go outside and play games all day. Like, I don't have a secret for you. But yeah, I got kind of the, but yeah, body wise, I feel very old. What about you?
So I've kind of had the stay off my lawn things going on lately. Like my neighbors have all decided to buy these little yappy dogs. And I don't know about you. Like, listen, I'm gonna sound really mean right now.
Yeah.
I cannot stand the little yappy dogs. I hate them. If you have a little yappy dog, I hate your little yappy dog. I don't even know it and I hate it. I promise you I hate it. Because these dogs come up and they like get a couple feet from you and they start barking. And so like my wife and I, we go walking around the neighborhood all the time. And I'll go outside and these little bee dogs run up and like, yep. And I just want to like, it makes me think bad thoughts. You know what I mean? I'm like, I want to kick this dog.
Damn.
Like, go away. I can't stand the little yappy dog.
Toxic PChild.
Yeah, dude. And the neighbors don't do anything. They don't care. They're just like, oh, it's so cute. I'm a little dog.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, get your dog and get him inside. Like,
This is so relevant to me right now because like the neighbors who I enjoy, they just got like a little dog. and it was very, very quiet at first, and it was like super cute. And they have another dog who's like, he's bigger, and like they'll play, and it's like, it's really adorable, and they're like playing out in the front yard, and like, oh, but recently the little dog has started to be like, "Rawr!" And it's just like, hope that doesn't keep up. But I hear it, like I hear it all day when they take him out. He's just like, "Rawr!" It's like,
it drives me nuts. And like, so, it's been nice weather recently. It's actually snowing today, which is crazy, but it's been really nice weather. So we have the windows in the house open, and I got a big, nice attic fan in my house. It gets this nice breeze going through the house. It's awesome. And my neighbor at 7:00 when they get ready to go to work, let their little yappy dog out, and it's like rup, 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 outside at 7 a.m. And I'm like, listen, what is
just
wrong
outside
with you?
fenced in?
Outside
hate
fenced
that.
in, just yapping. And so their yard butts up to my fence. Like I have this nice privacy fence in my backyard, so I can't see their house, but I can hear their dog yapping. And my window's open because it's nice weather, right? And so this yappy dog wakes me up, and I look over at my wife the other day, and I'm like, listen, that dog's gonna end up missing if he doesn't start doing something about it. You know what I mean? But it's in all seriousness, it just drives. That's my old F moment, dude. I know I'm getting old because stuff like that.
That's not old, man. Because that's like peace and quiet. I had to, like, what do you do about that when you live in like suburbia? Because like eventually, what you call the police, and like they're not gonna do shit.
Yeah, you just.
But when you live in an apartment complex and someone's got a yappy dog, you just complain, and that shit gets taken care of.
Yeah. I don't know what you do. Like, I mean, I guess you just politely say like, "Hey, listen, man, I'm trying to sleep. You're letting your dog out at 7. Can you please stop?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or something. But at the same time, it's like I don't really want to be that guy that can play. So we'll see. Hopefully the dog just grows up, or I don't know, gets eaten by the big dog across the street. I don't know what something happened. So, but yeah, that's it, man. That's all the questions we had this week.
Easy
peasy. I guess the topical question for next week should be in the comment section. If you guys watch, how do you feel about giveaways? I'm interested to see how people's opinions are. What the sides are, if they like. And I'm not saying this to be facetious at all. Just seriously, like do you guys think it's bad juice, or should the games block it like POE does, or should it be good? I think Diablo should have eliminated bounty mat giveaways a long time ago. I think if you're not in the game when the bounties are complete, I don't think they should be able to collect them.
I agree.
So I'd like to see them make that change.
It's kind of scummy to just like make them tradable, right?
I think it is. I think it promotes botting really bad. I think it promotes people botting on alt accounts and then giving themselves bounty mats.
Okay.
So. That's it this week, guys. If you have any questions for the New Meta podcast, you can ask them in our Discords or on our Twitters. The Twitter poll for next week is on Fluff's Twitter, so make sure that you guys are following us so you can vote on those polls.
Yeah.
I'm ThaPChild. You can catch me at all the places at ThaPChild.
And I'm Lord_Fluffy. Double those underscores on the Twitter. We'll see you guys next week. Oh, and by the way.
Oh, yeah.
150, team. Pod 150.
We got the thing. You know what? I think here's what we should do, Fluff. I think we should what's today? 144. So we got 6 weeks until 150.
Yep.
I think not next week, but the following week. I think maybe we should tell chat. We should tell the podcast what it is, and then let people participate if they want to participate. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because they could also participate with us.
They could. Yes.
I don't know, but maybe.
Yeah. They could all be in the hot tub. Yep.
Yeah. Should we make it a surprise for 150, or should we make the reveal and then let people play?
I don't think. You think anyone would actually? I mean, it's.
Probably not, but maybe.
Or do we just keep building the hype, and then eventually let people down with what it actually is, or? No, I think it's pretty hype. I don't
think people are going to be disappointed. No. I think people are going to love it. I think they're going to eat it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, episode 150, if we need to start the pod with this next time for people who don't make it all the way through. But episode 150 is going to be hotness. We got some good stuff planned, and yeah, man. All right. Next week, 145.
Yeah. Peace.